Still having a blast wearing watches. Like I've said, I hope that never changes. I hope I don't get sick of watches. So far, it's been going strong. I mean, it is so fun strapping on different watches. I don't know. I'm a kook. Maybe you are too. And that's why you clicked on this video. That and because you are awesome. Yeah, that. All 70 of you who watch these WRVs are awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate the comments too. Yeah, we are into watches because it's fun. We know this. You should know, by the way, if you've kept up with the flow of the WRVs, that I do prefer larger watches. Not always, usually. We'll call it like 43, 44, 45 millimeter pieces usually. That's what I prefer. Now, you might be happy to know that, or maybe you just don't care, that I've warmed up to 42 millimeter pieces a lot in the last 2 years. A lot. I didn't think I would. But I've acquired some 42 millimeter watches, been wearing them. They've made me extraordinarily happy. They're not too small for me usually. Here comes another one of those watches. And I do go out and seek these pieces for those of you who do not possess my manly wrist size of 7.5 inches. Yeah, able to wear this piece, for instance. A huge Casio Pathfinder PAG 240 in titanium. Reviewed about 4 years ago. With some paint splattering on it. Great watch. Yeah, so I have a 7.5 inch wrist. You know this. I usually like the big watches, but some of you guys don't have that. You have 6.5 inch wrists, maybe 6 3/4. So I do go out and look to borrow, sometimes purchase 42 millimeter pieces. This is one of them. I can tell you right now, you guys are going to love this watch. You're going to want to buy it. It is a recommend. It's from a company we've talked about before in the show. It is Armourlite. Armourlite. And here it comes. It's called the Armourlite Field Series. I've seen it in white and this tactical black. This is the AL131. I told you would like it. Let's start off with a wrist shot on my wrist. And that's not horrible. Well, I don't think I have like a, good looking wrist, but it's all I've got for the show. Yeah, and it seems like it's a bigger watch, but dudes, this Armourlite Field Series is very compact. Very compact. It's 42 millimeters across, not counting the crown. Only 11 millimeters in thickness. And only 49 millimeters lug to lug. That is pretty fantastic, right? Really fantastic. And it has a wide effective face because there's no chapter ring in it. So it's very fieldy, which is good. Very fieldy. Yeah, I just came up with that. It's very fieldy. So my favorite genres, as you guys know, I love field watches, I love dive watches, I love Flieger watches, and certain Casios too. That's kind of the core of the show. That's where I go. I don't like dress watches, I don't like fancy watches, I don't like gaudy watches. I like classic styling that stands the test of time, and this is absolutely a field watch aesthetic in the Field Series by Armourlite. Now, I've said that we've reviewed the brand before. We have. Here comes an Armourlite dive watch. This is one of the pieces I reviewed back in the day. And since that time, dudes, it has had a lot of wear time. One of my favorite night watches, of course, because it is a tritium piece, just like the field watches. So this is tritium, this is tritium. Now, they're running T25 lamps on it. I guess they call them tubes. Those aren't the brightest. Armourlite doesn't use the brightest. I think the T100s, if I'm remembering right, are the brightest. But they do work. And this one is about 4 years old. Not quite 4, maybe 3 years old. And they're doing great. But they don't have to be exposed to light, to charge, like the indices, the hands. You can see the tritium tubes on this one, this Armourlite dive watch. CF case, great watch, by the way. This is a bigger piece. So I'm forgetting the size right off, but I want to say it's like 45 millimeters. That's what it looks like on my wrist for this Armourlite. Anyways, that's the brand. We have discussed it before. Let's look at the details of this one, the Field Series. I love the hands of this one. You guys should know this. I know, I'm so predictable. I love non-metal, I shouldn't say metal, but non-shiny metal hands. These are fully white against a black background. That is so classic, so beautiful. I liken it to on a modern car having chrome. On a classic car, I like chrome a lot, but on a modern car, no thank you. Like stainless steel, chrome looking outlines of windows on cars, I detest it. Same thing on watches. I don't like shiny metal on my hands. I just don't. No apologies. That's just me. You may differ. I think actually a lot of you guys do differ. I've talked to you in comment, and some of y'all have sent in your watches for review, and you're like, yeah, I'm happy with a shiny metal. You don't have to hands mod it, which I was super happy to hear because it saves me time. You can see the tubes on here on the hands, the T25 tritium tubes, and you can see the stick markers going around the periphery. There's no chapter ring in here, so again, a wide effective face for a small watch. Well, I'd say a medium-sized watch. If this was a 38mm watch, it'd be tiny. 40 would be small in my book. Again, we're told by the so-called watch experts that small is back, and so people are going for 38mm sizing, men I'm talking, and I say go for it. I'll see you on the other side, because that trend will not last. It will come back to larger watches. I can guarantee it. Great numerals on here, non-Bell & Ross font, and we have a full numeral set as I think a field watch should have. We have a tiny tube on the seconds hand in this version painted red. There is a white version I saw. It is also excellent. The hands, however, are not monochromatic like they are here. And I will roll in some images of that. We have a negative display date only on this Ronda 715 Swiss quartz movement. This is technically a Swiss-made watch. This is a Swiss watch. If it's a Ronda movement, that means your battery will last about 2 years, which is good. Way better than some Miyotas. I should say way better than the inexpensive Miyotas that use a 626 battery, which I do not prefer. Armourlite complication here. We have military time on the inner dial. So standard field watch stuff. We kind of have a domed case. Very interesting. 316L stainless, of course, brushed. Then we have like mini Allen screws here for the spring bars. I did not try to remove those. I don't think it would be a task whatsoever. It'd be easy enough to do. 22mm lugs on this. I think one reason they've gone, I'm calling them spring bars, are actually tubes to mount the strap on. I think the reason they went with it is because it's very, very strong. Look how thick that metal is, and they do brag about it. Screw and case back on the stainless steel watch. Really nice adornment on the back too. That is excellent, excellent adornment for a field watch. So it says to us, get your ass off the couch and go into the mountains and use me. Which we should all do more frequently. I really like the artwork on the back. Screw in again. Nice information here. Field series. Let me see if it has the number or the model. See, they should always do that, and they should have it in big lettering. Invicta does great with this. They always tell you which model it is. Everybody else sucks at it. Screw in crown on this. Water resistance is surprisingly low. I would think it'd be like 200 meters, but it's 100 meters. With a screw and crown, I think it should go to 200, and it just might. Now, this is a sapphire-like crystal. They call it armor glass. They're saying it rates 6K on the Vickers scale, whatever the hell that is. That just means it's like a really hard crystal. I wouldn't feel compelled to put a crystal protector on this one. You see my studio light right there. Kind of crown guarded here. Just a nice watch. I really like this watch. I like it better in person than I did online. I was like, it's okay. But dude, in person, it's impressive. We have a rubber strap. This is not silicone. This is rubber. It's a love-hate relationship I have with rubber straps. I don't like how they feel against my skin. Maybe I'm a pussy. Probably. I just don't like it. I'd prefer definitely a NATO strap, a leather strap, silicone strap. I can deal with it though. In the wintertime, it's fine. In the summertime, I will not do rubber straps. I just won't. Unless I'm diving or doing water activities. Single keeper on this. We have a waffle pattern on this side. We have some corrugations on the underside to help it ventilate somewhat. And we have no logo on the stainless steel clasp, which is frosted. I don't mind that either. Comes in a simple box, which I can't show you because I left it somewhere else. And then here we go with competitive options, which is super fun. Actually, before I do that, let me show you the lighting of this. And let me tell you and be forewarned, when I do in-studio lighting of tritium watches, it doesn't turn out very well. I'll probably just have to roll in screen. This is an Isobrite, by the way, and this has the upgraded tubes on it. T100s or whatever they are. That's a beautiful Starburst blue version. I got this one free with points from the discontinued, well, at least for watches, drop website. Yeah, so I reviewed these. These Isobrites are insane. They're probably made in the same factory, these two watches right here. Also a Swiss watch. Let's see if we can see this one. It's going to be disappointing, I think. So that one's not bad. You can see that one. Yeah, in the camera, these just are not showing up. In real life, they are dim, but you can see them. Let's take a look at this one. There you go. So that's your field watch right there. Not too bad. Again, in real life, it looks better. I'll roll in some screen images to show you what it's going to look like when your eyes adapt to the darkness. That's what it's going to look like. So, nice tritium watch. There's your night performance. And then competitive options are going to be super fun. The Momentum Atlas 44, still a favorite field watch. So it has almost full numerics. It does have a lot of Flieger language in it, like the inverted triangle. Really big numerals. This is a completely loomed face. It's so insane. It does come in different sizes, different strap treatments, the Momentum field watch, and it's just one of my all-time favorite ones. This is a titanium case version, I believe. This is a titanium Atlas 44, and I campaigned for Momentum to come out with a 44mm sized Atlas, and they did it, and I was so elated. I did a whole review on the update. Which one would I prefer between these? Ooh, that's a hard decision. I would probably go with my Momentum. It's a bigger watch. It's a 44mm. It's in the name, of course. I just like it. Sapphire crystal, titanium case version is available. It's just awesome. Now, it's not tritium, but look at that face, dudes. What's not to love about that? How about the Islander watch field watches? And by the way, I have a separate review that I've done, and I haven't posted it. I call them field watches. They're actually called the aviators, but very field watchy to me. This is from Island Watch, Mark at Island Watch. He does a great job with a bunch of different design styles. He's like me. He's really into the field watches. He has a great line of dive watches. Really high quality for the price paid. Sometimes the price is a little bit higher than the competition, but you're going to get a great watch when you do go with an Islander watch for sure. So this is a sapphire crystal. Again, it's called the Aviator, but to me, it's a field watch. Field watch. And this is an automatic too. So that's pretty excellent. NH35. There's your price. Really nice competitive option. It comes in some great colors. I mean, this watch comes in green, black, loomed face, different strap treatments, and the straps that Mark puts on there are fantastic. You won't have to replace them at all. I'm going to show you this one. This one's really cool. I have it on loan. This is a Laco, German made, German automatic, sapphire crystal Flieger watch. And the reason I want to show you this is, well, a couple reasons. I'm going to review it separately. It's highly recommended. The Laco brand is so storied. It's one of the original Flieger watches in World War II. Here I have an HE-177 on the table. Don't know if those pilots ran a Laco. They very well could have. But my understanding, it is an original Flieger brand. We're talking about field watches, not Flieger watches, but I'm going to roll it in because of sizing. So these two watches are the same size. That's my point. So this is a 42mm piece, so is this. This looks smaller because of the domed case. It still has a wide, effective face. I still love its hands. You can't beat Flieger hands, though. They're fantastic, especially the original IWC style of Flieger hands, or you could call it Laco. I mean, they're one of the original ones too. Very elegant, outlined in black. This is a Laco Flieger. They're kind of hard to find at times, and when you do find them, they are very expensive. I would say a Laco automatic is going to cost you around $1,000. Generally, you might find one for $800. If you get a used one, you could get it for less, but they're not inexpensive. And then I have this one here. I don't even know why I'm showing you this. The battery's dead. It's an offshore produced Ben-Yar pilot watch, but I hands modded that, so it had the same style hands. I painted them white. I don't know why I'm showing you this because it's like a pilot watch. But back to this one. This is a fantastic watch. I absolutely love it. It is a hard recommend. The Armourlite Field Series. Any color you get will be excellent. The handset is perfect, not needing any programming whatsoever. Tritium. The vials will probably last you, I'm talking about usable nighttime illumination for, I would say probably a decade, 10 years, and then you'll still be able to see them after that, but they'll be a lot dimmer. You know, it's a radioactive tritium product, you know this. Highly, highly recommended. I'll put some links below. Use them to support the show. If you don't use them, you won't support the show. Except by watching the video. Just by watching the video, you do support the show. I'm going to end with this, by the way. This is a Baton 3 from Amourlite. I've ranted for a long time about their clips, and I said, you guys got to fix your freaking clip on the Baton 2, and they did it. I don't know if I was the only one complaining about them, but I complained in multiple videos like the Mini Warrior. I was like, holy crap, great light. Fixed the damn clip. They did. Look at that, dude. This is an orange Baton 3. They're not really calling it the S3 anymore. They're just going with the Baton. Very excellent light. I'll put a link to that below. So fun. I hope you're having fun with your watches, with your knives, with your flashlights. Gear show is what we have going here, ladies and gentlemen. Gear show. It's all about the gear. See you next video.